Welcome back to CZ Adventure. In today's episode, we are going to be installing the 200 watt premium solar kit by Renogy. I went with the 200 watt premium kit by Renogy because it comes with this awesome 20 amp MPPT charge controller, as well as all the brackets you need, all the cords you need, some fuse blocks, some really good stuff. We'll also be adding a 200 amp hour lithium battery to this entire setup. This video in itself is going to be a step-by-step on how I installed 200 watts of solar onto my camper van. Let's get right into it. What I'm doing first is just mounting brackets on. This kit comes with all the nice aluminum brackets and all the necessary bolts that you need, so it's pretty plug and play. So as we were putting the solar panels up on the roof, I was contemplating between series and parallel. These are the two deciding factors kind of how you go about setting up your panels. I've decided to go with series as I think this is what this kit is designed for, as it came with an MPPT charge controller. If I'm saying any of this wrong, please correct me down in the comments below. I'm not an electrician by any means. So here is the placement for our panels. We will be able to sink these brackets into the actual ribs that are a part of the fiberglass already. So we have the 200 watts of solar up on the roof. We'll be connecting the cables in the center. We'll be running them probably somewhere around here down into the van. Time to drill more holes in the van. So when you get the panels where you want them, my suggestion is to use a little bit of silicone. And what I'm doing is putting it under these Z brackets and making sure to get an adequate amount where the screws will be going in. So I get a nice bead of the silicone in there. This is what it looks like with the silicone, then we'll just wipe out all the excess. With the self-tapping screw going right into this silicone, this will harden and create a complete seal around the screw that's going into the roof. So we should have a pretty watertight little seal. And that thing is solid. So as you can see, the force of screwing the Z bracket down pushed out all the silicone. It's going to create a perfect seal. Now that both of the 100 watt panels are mounted to the roof, and when I say mounted, shake the entire van, we have to install this little cable housing. So essentially what this does is it takes our positive, which has our fuse attached, as well as our negative, and it runs it into the van roof so we could hook it up to our battery and the charge controller while staying watertight. So essentially we'll drill a hole probably from the inside wherever we feel is the most optimal spot, and then we'll be putting a layer of butyl tape and some silicone on this, placing it over that hole, and then running both of these wires through these holes where we can tighten them down and make a watertight seal. I have no idea why it doesn't come with the kit. I guess not everyone's putting their solar cables directly into the roof. Some people are, mounting that to something else. Maybe it's not a permanent piece, so you'll have to buy this separately, but I went with the black one to match the fan, and I think it'll work well. We'll probably just have it placed there with each cable running directly in there, and then we'll have plenty of extra to do what we need to do inside. So I'm trying to decide if the solar wire should come through this side of the rib or somewhere around this corner. I say that because I'm going to be mounting a ceiling, and if the hole in the wires are coming through this edge, we'll be able to run it down the wall here and then into our solar setup, which is going to be somewhere around here. But it's really close to the edge, so I want to make sure that cover will actually cover it and not be hanging off the edge of the van. But if I have it coming through here, I'll have to run the wire over. It just doesn't make sense. It's going to be smashed up against this rib. So I'm not sure. Got to think about this really quick. I think we decided on the spot. Oh, there's no going back. Oh yeah. That's almost exactly where I had this thing. So this will sit right over those holes and we'll have the cables running into them. And I figure we want this direction to be facing towards the front for maybe a little bit of added aerodynamics. So yeah, I think that'll work. That went well. Well, we accidentally knocked down our little cover, but I think that hole might work. So we got 2 holes in the fiberglass, one for each of these cables to go down into. That's a lot of cable. And then this is essentially going to sit over the top, just like that. It's very simple. Now that we ran both the positive and negative wires down into the van, we wrapped a little bit of electrical tape around the cables, so when we jam them back into the hole, it'll kind of fill the gap as well as prevent the cable from stripping from the rough fiberglass. And we're also going to put a little bead of silicone probably around these just to keep them as watertight as possible, as well as butyl tape, some screws, and silicone on this thing as well. Perfect. Pretty much completed with the process. This thing's on there pretty snug, and they supplied this little tool, I guess, to tighten this thing down once you have it installed. Just tightens the rubber that's inside this. And this job is complete. And here we have our positive labeled with PV plus and our negative labeled with PV minus. And then we will be running these cords down, and we're gonna put our battery setup somewhere in this area. I just wanted to do a brief video on how to install the Renogy 200W premium solar package. So we have the insulation. We could start putting the subfloor in probably. The van build's starting to come together. I made sure to get all those exterior things, including the paint job and the max fan, as well as the solar panels, out of the way. They're all complete now. We don't have to worry about getting rained on. I want to thank you for watching this simple version of how to install your Renogy 200W premium solar kit. Make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for the rest of this van build. As always, we'll see you in the next adventure.